Hello everyone, happy Thursday. I hope you've had a good start to the week. And let me just see if I have there we go, I can see myself. Awesome. I hope you had a good start to the week, and I have a fun topic today. If JVB is here, I think it was JVB who asked it at least, or if someone has something else, I would be super happy to discuss that as well. So if you have anything on your mind that you'd like to talk about, then feel free to bring it up. It's always fun to see how many different ways the self kind of weaves itself into the self, weaves itself into the self, the story of the self, and how it's so easy to get caught up in, hey JVB. Oh, is there an echo? Oh wait, I think I know what the problem is. Thank you for telling me. Let me just see. I probably have two microphones on. No. That's the correct one there. Everything else is off. Is it not working now? Still echo? Let me see. There shouldn't be an echo now. Can you hear me okay? It does, and I see there's someone else, or some other people here as well. Do you hear an echo as well, or is it just for JVB? So I don't see anything. Let me just see so I didn't turn on some kind of weird filter or something. No, that looks good. Sounds like there are two Martins and one repeats the other. And then usually it would be that I somehow enable. So I'm just going to go away. Let's see if I do extra mix. I'll do this. There we go. That's much better. Is there an echo now as well, JVB, or is it better now? So the sound is good now when I'm upside down? Okay, so then it has to do with, if that's what you're saying. We'll see, I'm going to come back to here. We'll see, is the echo gone now, or is there still an echo? Very strange if it's like that. I don't really know what could be causing that. Okay, I'm back to normal now. Is there still an echo, or what does it sound like? You good on normal, not upside down view. Okay, so it sounds good now. Is that what you're saying? I think, yes, everything is up and running. Perfect. Yeah, like I sometimes what can happen is that I have basically 1, 2, 3 microphones. I have this one here, I have the one in the camera, and there's also a microphone in the laptop that I'm looking at now. So it's happened before that I somehow accidentally turned those on, and then that can cause a bit of a weird glitch, but yeah, it seems to be working now. So tell me if it comes back. Anyway, yeah, JVB, you had a fun topic last time, unless someone else has something they'd like to bring up. I think that's a fun thing to look at. Namaste. Let me just see the topic that it was you that brought up fuck you money, right? I think it was, at least. Tell me what does that mean to you when you say fuck you money? It's a term that, I mean, basically, I'll say how I interpret it, and I'm curious to see if JVB sees it the same way, but it basically means that you have so much money that you don't care about anything. It's fuck you money. Like, I have so much, just whatever you say, fuck you. I don't care, because I don't have to worry about what you do, because I have all this money. So it's a thing that you can get rich, but if you get that kind of rich, then that's beyond just being rich. It's like you never have to worry about money again. Like it's you could do whatever. And for a lot of people, that seems to be a goal or a dream where they think that, well, I feel like if I could just have that kind of money, then I'd finally be. I mean, you've seen this pattern before, right? If I could just, it's not enough to just have money, and it's not enough to just have like lots of money. I had to have so much money that I can tell the whole world to just go F themselves. That's how much money I want to have. Like then I'll be happy. And I mean, there are some people who have a few money, and to be honest, I'm not sure if they're very happy, because I think the things you need to do to get there just cause so much stress, and it's so much sense of self that you can never actually get to that point. A few money would be $1 million. That would be like a few money for me. Like I could live the rest of my life on, if you gave me $1 million in my bank account. I mean, I could buy a nicer house. Yeah, if you really wanted to push it, if you said $2 million, like there's like just no way I would need more money than that the rest of my life. You see, JVB is saying, for me, it means that a certain amount of money out of a sudden gives you a sense of permission to be yourself. Oh, that's an even better explanation than what I gave you. Yes, I like that explanation, and I think you really hit the nail on what people think about it. So we have this feeling that I can't be myself because I have to do this stuff I don't like. So I have to go to work, I have to do these things. I have to behave in a certain way because otherwise I'm worried about what you're going to think about me. But if I had that much money, I could just buy everything. I could buy love, I could buy a house, I could buy friends. Like I wouldn't need to care about anything else. I can just be who I am. And I understand how that makes sense to people if they're still playing the whole, like, I'm gonna make myself, it's about me, like it's about what I can get, or even it's about how much I can give away. So as long as you're in the game of the sense of identity that you're important, and when I say these things, I think I have to emphasize that I'm not saying it's about not having money or giving it all away. It's not about the way we think of being egoistic or egocentric actions. We're talking about the sense of self. And if you have a strong sense of self, then having a few money makes a lot of sense, because the reason you're not letting that come out is because you're worried about how people are going to judge you or how they're going to behave towards you. But with that kind of money, you can do whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter. And that makes so much sense. I mean, I can see myself 20 years ago, I would have been like, man, I need to do that. That's what I need to do. Like, if I had that, then everything would be solved. JVB is saying, which can be tricky because now a certain level of money determine your sense of being. Like, you'll be asking yourself constantly, does my bank account allow me to be honest with myself? Yeah, exactly. And my opinion is that's not a number on the bank account. It's a number that correlates to your idea of what that means. So as I said, for me, a few money would be like $2 million. Seriously, like that's a crap load of money for me. And in the world of having a few money, that's not even, like, you're barely making it for a lot of people. But for me, on $2 million, I could live the rest of my life. I'd never have to work. And I could go on vacations, I could have the car that I wanted, I could have a house that I wanted, could take care of my family for the rest of my life. I really wouldn't have to worry about anything. But for some other people, it would mean that they would need to have $2 billion. Hey, Mats, no money, no bitches. Yeah, exactly. That's not true, though. I keep telling Marjolein, like, Marjolein is my fiancée, soon-to-be wife, is incredibly beautiful, and she used to work as a model, and she always had, like, guys running after her, and, like, guys who had lots of money, and I said, like, you are the worst gold digger ever. You just really failed at digging, like, seriously, like, you really failed in that department. Because she says, yeah, we joke about that sometimes. You can still find love, like, without money. In fact, it might even be easier in some ways, I think, at least. But I want to get to the point of what we think we get from this, and I think JVB he really described it well when he said that it's so much money that it gives you a sense of permission to be yourself. For me, this is so ironic when you say this, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, I want you to give yourself permission to be yourself. And now you might ask, what's in the way? What makes it so that you can't be yourself? Well, it's money, because if I had money, then I could just, no, that's not the problem. Because it's not a certain digit on your bank account, it's something else. There's a feeling inside of you that says that you cannot be yourself, because if you do, then you won't be loved, and like you have all these ideas that the sense of identity is protecting itself. If I would say what I really want to say, then maybe my fiance wouldn't love me, and then she'd leave me. So then, like, I have to hold that in. But if I had like a few money, then I wouldn't care, because I could just like, I'll find, like, I'm talking mostly how men think. Men think if they have money, they get women. Like, it's for a woman, this sounds like, well, actually for some women it probably does make sense, unfortunately, because that's how some women see it. But the kind of women that you probably really want very likely wants you to just have financial responsibility. I have not met a woman that I really liked or considered to be someone that I could ever be with that would need me to be super rich. It would more be that they would want you to be financially responsible, which is a good thing to be. Same as a man. If you meet a woman, it's a good thing if she's financially responsible. So we believe that by having this money, we can just behave how we do. Or, there's something that keeps us from behaving and being ourselves. And it's not the money, it's our feelings. It's not even our feelings. It's the identity that we're trying to protect. There's a sense of this here. And you don't think about this, but whenever you walk out, you're protecting your identity, your sense of identity. Or how do people look at me now? What do they think about me? Like, who do they think I am? And like, oh, my clothes are dirty, or I'm walking strangely, my hair is weird. And how do they think? Do they think I'm smart? Do they think I'm dumb? Do they think I'm beautiful? Do they think I'm ugly? We constantly have this distortion running in our mind, judging the world around us emotionally, how they perceive us. And we then in turn do the judging of everyone else. Like, well, I don't care about their opinion because they're poor. Well, I have a few money now, so I don't care about any of y'all's opinions because F you. But actually care about his opinion, like that guy over there, him I care about because he has more money than me. Like, if that's how you judge it, then you still do that, because even that judgment, like, I don't care about you because I have so much money, that is also distortion. It's just that it's one that puts you in a position of, I'm up here and you're down there. So it makes you feeling of being very strong. Like, to overcome the self and like self-doubt, the way that people think of it, like pretty much everyone, is that either, and this is spiritual versus materialistic view. Materialistic view gets so rich, so confident, so competent that no one can touch you. That makes sense, right? Then you never have to feel insecure because you're so rich, so confident, and so competent that you don't have to care about anything. The spiritual approach is that you get so many spiritual experiences, you know the non-duality of the universe, and so you know that you are everything, so you don't have to care about anything anyone says because you are everything. It's the same thing. You're still trying to protect something. You're just coming up with excuses why it's okay to be yourself. I'll give you another way that it's possible to do that. See, JVB is saying, I guess I speak from experience since I live in the US and I'm surrounded daily by people that ooze that tiring FU money mentality. I can smell them a mile away. You mean people who have that mentality, or people who want to have someone with that kind of money? And you're right, JVB. Would you like to be like that? Because again, like someone who has FU money, what they do is they think they're better than other people. And if you have a weak sense of like me, then you feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm beneath him because he has so much, or her, so much money that sorry. If you're a spiritual person, you'd be like, no, well, I don't care. Like I have something bigger than money. I have spiritual contacts. So then they try, and then it's like a pissing contest, like who has the biggest ego, like the biggest sense of identity, the strongest one. Yes, that have that mentality, yeah. So would you like to have that mentality? Is that something you think you need, or like, why are you asking? It's so slow when we have to type to each other. It's and there's the delay after I say something before you hear it. So there's that as well. Oh, sorry. I'll move into the other way of doing it. Like I said, the spiritual approach, well, you just get spiritual experience and you're basically God or the universe. So I don't, yeah, go ahead. So I don't care about like this stuff. Or you have so much money that you have FU money. There is another way. And this is a thing that's so difficult to, and then you have the people in the middle who just kind of, they don't really think about this stuff. They just live their lives and buy their TVs and like make things work. Instead of trying to change the identity to make it so strong in some way, and we do this in different ways. Like some people find their sense of security from being knowledgeable. So they learn everything and they make sure they have the most knowledge about everything, the answer to everything, so that they know that they are worthy of someone to respect them. Like they have this like... what do you call that? The four quadrants of like personalities, and like I remember when we worked with sales, like they said, people like that, we call them owls. So before they would buy, they would need to know everything, because they feel like their sense of who they are and like why they're allowed to be in the room and to be like not looked down upon is because they have so much knowledge. Other people feel that it's because they are so sociable, so many people like them. That's why. Other people is because, well, I just want everyone else to see how good I am. If they can just see how good I am, like there's someone who's sitting in a very powerful position in the US, wants everyone to see how good he is, because then they will feel secure. If enough people say it, I just need to have enough people saying it. JVB, no, I don't strive necessarily for a certain amount of money. I don't want to live under a bridge either. And I like having my material things even now and then. Every now and then. Absolutely. I'm not in any way saying that there's anything wrong with having money. I mean, by all means, have like a shitload of money. There's nothing wrong with that either. The problem is when you think that that's going to solve your problems. Financial problems, absolutely. But your sense of security, no, that doesn't really solve that. Because it's the same trap. Like I said, when I was younger, I thought that, what is it I'm supposed to do with my life? Well, I need to make enough money so that I can buy something good. Well, this is just another version of that. I make so much money that I don't have to worry about anything ever again, and I don't even have to care about what other people think. If I could just make that kind of money, and you just move it along. So that's not going to happen. The other one was, of course, if I can just find the perfect partner, my perfect job or call, and then it was like the calling in life, what I'm supposed to do here, my life's purpose. There's all these ideas that if I can just get to this point, then I'll be happy. JB is saying, but at the same time, I understand that being happy now, right now, is possible irrespective of what my bank account says. Exactly. It's like I say, if I would be Elon Musk, there would be no, if I would have Elon Musk's money right now, it would make no difference when I'm sitting here talking to you. Like it really wouldn't influence anything. If I believe that made a difference, I might feel different and talk different. But for me, that wouldn't do much of a difference. Since I'm actually quite poor and it doesn't affect how I talk, because I still feel that I can sit here. I don't need that money to give me validity to talk. So the other way you look at it is to actually look at that thing that feels that it needs to be important, that feels that it needs to be allowed to be who you are, meaning that when you are who you are, like you are something, like all your experiences, all the things you've experienced has created a personality, like some kind of congregation of all your experiences and knowledge, like that has created you. Like there's just one of you that's still there. But then layered on top of that, you have your feelings, like your distortions. And that's what says that when you go outside of who you think you are, then you're going to feel uncomfortable. So if you would date someone who looks way better than you, in your opinion again, like way, way better than you and way richer than you, and like someone who's super famous, you would feel probably quite uncomfortable. You'd have a distortion towards that because you'd feel like who I am does not match up to that, so she's just going to leave me or he's just going to leave me because we're not on the same playing level here. In other words, this sense of identity is trying to protect you. It's trying to make sure, well, he's not going to stay with you because you're below their social status, so they obviously cannot be with you. So that feeling is there to protect you, and that feeling also drives us to do things like work our ass off for our whole lives to get that FU money, But then the question is, what's actually going to change? Like, are you really going to find something there? And most people don't, because it's not in what you do. Instead, you look at that feeling of identity. What is that? Where does that come from? How does that work? And you realize something, that life, without having to defend that, is infinitely more enjoyable. It is just so much more enjoyable to live a life when you don't have to go around and constantly protect this identity. And I mean, the $1 million question then is, how do you do that? The problem here is that that's not an easy thing to do, because I can tell you how to meditate. Focus on your breath, focus on like some point in your body and just follow the breath. Like, that's easy. Like, if you do that long enough and you keep coming back to your object of meditation, you will have a jhana eventually. Do it for 5 months, 5 years, 50 years eventually. No, it's not going to take 50 years, but like, just do it 5 hours. Like, it will happen eventually. It's just very simple. But what we're talking about here, about giving up the sense of identity, the sense of self, that is much more difficult, because it's not something I can say, just do this, like just come to this point in your body, go over, and then it disappears. It is actually a letting go. It's not that that feeling of I am allowed to be who I am comes from something in the outside. Temporarily it can do that. And in certain cases it can, in the sense that you can be, I don't have to worry about money. So that's a really nice thing. But actually being you, that is something that you have to allow yourself to do. And the way you do that is you let go of the thing that's in the way of you having to do that. So what is it that's keeping you from being you? That's what you have to look at. And then you have to look at all the things, like the insecurities I have, that, well, I believe that I'm not worthy to have that kind of money. I'm not worthy to have a beautiful partner, or even a partner at all. I'm not worthy to have a home. I'm not worthy to hold a stable job, because I'm going to lose it. I'm not good enough, whatever you have. I'm not knowledgeable enough. That's something you have to look at and see, who would I be if I was okay with that, if I didn't feel bad about that feeling, if I was okay with just being who I am. In other words, accepting reality as it is right now. Not that you actually aren't worthy, but the feeling you're having right now is an uncomfortable feeling. Just feel it and it goes away. And then after that, you also have to look at the things that most people would see as positive, like, I am a good person. I am a person who helps other people. I am a person who feels bad when other people feel bad. I'm a person who likes this, who likes that. And if I don't get this, then I'd be sad. So in other words, we have to look at all aspects of the sense of identity, like all of them, like all the social conditioning, but also the what I call primal urges, the anger and the greed and the even nurture, like taking care of, this is my offspring, so I'm going to hurt anyone who comes against me. There's a very strong instinct there. That's also a distortion. So the path that you have to go to really let go of this is just so wide and so much. But the nice thing is, if you just start doing this, then you'll start noticing, wait a minute, I never needed the money in the first place. It's actually really nice right here. It's just that we spend so much of our brain's capacity to maintain this identity. You have no idea until you drop that identity and you go like, whoa. And you have it like, or you take LSD and you go like, holy moly, like, look at this stuff. And you go, whoa. This is amazing, look at this. And you go, it's just like such a trip. That's what the world is like when you're not there constantly having to uphold this sense of identity. The whole wow thing, that's you going, wow. So there's still a sense of self there that is going, wow, this is so much nicer. And then that sense of self, this sense of identity, tries to own that by saying like, wow, this is incredible. Then you're putting yourself in again. And then maybe it says like, well, I did this because I did this meditative experience. I'm special now. I've had this special experience. And then you feel like, wow, all these like incredible, strong feelings. Self just inserts itself straight into that situation and takes ownership of it, so you can never go there. JVB is saying, what I prefer to do is balance out my ability of being capable of finding happy moments in the present and being financially responsible. There's absolutely no conflict there. People have that idea that like, I can't be financially responsible and be happy in the moment. Being happy in the moment has nothing to do with like money. There's no correlation. So they also don't conflict with each other. He also says, I guess I have to find that balance since I live in a capitalistic society. Yeah, I mean, you could be very happy living. I met a guy today at work who was a German man who free camped. He just had a tent, and he was camping at my work. And he walked around. He had an app where he could see trails. So I want to get from here to there, and it would show him trails so he didn't have to walk on the main road. And also where they were in Sweden, we have wind protection, so you can lie for free, or cottages just placed out in the country. I mean, in the forest, so you can sleep there for free. So he was just walking around, and I think he had lost his arm because it looked like he had half an arm. And he seemed super happy. He didn't have much money, he didn't have much money at all, but he was really content, being in a really good mood, and just walked around and just enjoyed himself. So it's not that you need to have something on the outside to enjoy being here. And it's not that he needed to then, I'm going to enjoy this trip, so I'm going to spend all this money so I can enjoy it. No. Enjoying now is not something that's happening in the now that you're enjoying. It's just being here that you're enjoying. So it's not actually that you're out in nature enjoying. You're just enjoying the experiences that your senses are giving you. And that tends to be easier to do out in nature because that's a more non-threatening environment to be in for most people. And I am glad to say that you, Martin, helped me find the balance. Oh, I'm happy to hear that, JVB. So what it comes down to is that people look for a few money because they want to, like I said, JVB really described it well. They want to be able to be who they are. And they think if I can just have that, then I can be who I am. I'm saying actually you don't need that. You don't need that few money to do that. What you have to do is just allow yourself to be that and look at that fear that comes up when you do that. And also look at, when I say be you, I don't mean the angry part, the distortion, the feeling that's just oh, I'm better than everyone else. I'm just going to go out and say that you all just suck, I'm the best one. Wow, that. That's this. That's the self again. We're talking about that thing that is not feeling like me. It just is. It's just doing stuff, and it's really enjoyable to just do stuff. And behind that, you are there. Behind all that social conditioning, behind all the fears and beliefs you think how you need to behave to be accepted by society, then underneath there is someone who is you. And you really don't need to make that money to do that. It's been really interesting. As you know, I've been doing coaching calls on the new system that I've been developing, and I've had 4 people that I work with now. I actually have 1 spot left if someone is interested, and I do the coaching for half price. And we try out new stuff, and we work with AI also, which is really fun. It's been really interesting to see how people say, okay, I want this. So I want to be myself. I want to be free of my social conditioning and all of these things that I want to be. But then they keep making up so many excuses why it's okay to keep reinventing the sense of identity, to affirm it, to do the thing they've always been doing that makes that real, because we think we want this, and we do want this, but then the identity comes in and says yeah, I want that, but I want to keep me here. I want to be me. I want to keep me here, and this is important here, and everyone has this. We have all these excuses why we can't give up. I can't give this up. And we also confuse it with, when I say give up, they think, okay, give up the distortion towards money. Okay, so I have to give away all my money because then I give it. No. If you give away all of your money, then you probably have a lot of distortion left because you still feel bad about it. But it's the feeling towards money that we're looking against. It's just money. That's all it is. It's the same as if you go up to... I'm thinking about a healthy relationship. If you go up to a woman, and I'm thinking as a man, I was wow, she's so incredible and so much above me, and this is how I was when I was younger, and there was so much distortion, oh, I really want her, and I need something from her. But when you come to a woman with that, they go oh, whoa, wait a minute, what's this needy person? That's very unattractive, and also something they don't want. But where you're just being yourself, and you're just there, that's more of a healthy relationship, because then you can be you, and it might be that you two don't match. And that's okay. Then you match with someone else. In many ways, it's the same with money. We have this really bad relationship with money where we have a very strong distortion. We feel so bad when we don't have all the money, or we feel so good when we have it. And then we have to do a lot of things we might not actually want to do just to have that money. I actually have a close friend or family who is quite rich, who created a company together with some others. And I remember him when he retired early, like he was quite young. And he said that, well, relatively young. And he said that, yeah, it's very nice to have this money. And he just travels around and does stuff now. And that's very nice. But he said that I was never really there when my kids were growing up. Like, I missed that. And I could see him when he said that. He said, like, yeah, I don't know if that was the right choice. Like, he made that choice, so he will never get his kids' childhood back again. He will never have the relationship with them that he would have had if he would have been a father who was always there. Instead, he focused on the job, made FU money, and now he can't get those years back. Because you can never get that time back. So it's worth thinking about, like, what is it you think you need, and why do you think you need it? Because really, to feel good and enjoy being here, that has nothing to do with what you have. It sounds so counterintuitive, but when you start experiencing reality as it is right now, without the self in the way, then gradually that becomes clearer, and you'll learn to see that the enjoyment is not from these distortions. It's not from the thing that makes the ego, the sense of identity, feel like it's good or it's bad. Because feeling bad also creates a sense of identity. It's just being here. And yeah. It's so difficult to do in the beginning, but once you figure out how it works, and it's not about suppressing or expressing anything, it's really about the thing that's those feelings or distortions are bouncing against. That's the thing we're looking at removing. There are so many, JB is saying, there's so many feelings out there. I'll bet that there are feelings we have not even identified and discovered. For me, meditation at least helps me describe what I'm feeling. Yeah, it's also another thing I notice, as I said, when I've been working with people, is that a lot of people don't really know how to feel their feelings. We haven't experienced, I mean, this is something I've seen for a long time, but we're not used to experiencing our emotions or our feelings. We put words on them, but we're not familiar with what they actually feel like because they're so scary to feel. So we just get controlled by them the whole time. Oh, a little bit uncomfortable, I feel anxiety. I'm just going to do this. Or I feel good, I'm going to follow that. Or look at this, oh, I want that. And, oh, this here. And they just get pushed around and they have no idea what's happening. Nice. I'm actually quite tired today, so I'm thinking we'll start the meditation. And I realized something. Monday, I actually missed it, and it was supposed to be guided. But I did it just as sitting. I think at least I did a mistake there. Oh, and by the way, there's a new video out, if you want to have a look at it. I just sat down and spoke because I think I'll start making a few videos like that where I don't put so much effort into it. And I'm actually going to start another channel because this channel has become so much about Buddhism and meditation, which is not really what I do. So I'll start another channel. I'd be curious to see if you guys get served up with that content. It's not happening yet, but I'll tell you when it happens. Even if I'm wrong in my first attempt at trying to identify my feelings, at least the attempt to understand myself makes me feel better. Nice. Okay. Today's Thursday, so we'll just sit together and we can do the Kapalabhati before, the one where we do from the stomach. Here we go. So you push the air out hard and then you just let the diaphragm pull the air in. I've gone through this before, so if don't go over so you feel uncomfortable with it or nauseous or like dizzy, which can happen. Instead, just stop it. Then I'm going to do 40 of those. You can do 10, 5, 1, however many you want to. And then after that, we just sit for 20 minutes. Just put your hand on your stomach and then, as I said, do as many as you feel comfortable doing. Let's see. Thank you for the singing, by the way. That was very nice. JFB saying, your fiancé hosted one time the live stream. It would be very insightful if she could guest host again and share how she made the transition from the modeling world to a more mindful lifestyle. Yeah, she'd probably like to do that. I mean, we actually talked a bit about how it would be a lot of fun to bring her on more for videos also, because she has a lot of good thoughts and perspectives on things as well. So I'll bring that up to her and see what she says. Thank you everyone for tonight. Fun topic, I think, as well. At least because it's one of those things that seems so obvious that, and whenever I talk about something like that, people say, well, I'm just going to make the money first and then I'll just enjoy and be happy. But first I'm going to make the money. In other words, the self always comes up with a reason why it needs to do the thing you think you need to do. Yes, together would be fun. I agree. Have a good weekend. I had to think what day it was. It was Monday or Thursday. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday. And if you haven't watched it, watch the new video. It's quite interesting. See you. Bye.